Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to episode 7 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I am well, and I hope you're doing well as well. On today's episode of Escape the Betweenlands, we shall continue working on a few different things. We're going to probably do a little bit of digging at some point, try and get some more ores and such. But I am also going to be heading out and about for a little while, trying to get some materials to start making some of the different brews and teas that we can. As we saw previously, we were able to make the moth house. That started getting us our first few pieces of silk thread. Silk thread is used for a lot of different things, for the fishing pole, which we'll be able to play around with as well. These silk bundles that we'll be using for making the different brews, and the lurker skin pouches, which we'll be able to use to carry around a bunch of stuff. Ooh, excuse me. Off camera, while going through and just mining up some more of the limestone in the area that we explored previously in our little mine shaft here at the center base. Like I said, I got some more limestone. I was able to grind up the limestone and smelted up those ceramite ore blocks that we were finding previously. So now I have a fair amount of ceramite. A fair enough amount that I'm going to say I would like to go ahead and upgrade my armor to the next level, which is the ceramite armor. Now I know that I did just make the bone armor previously out of a lot of the slimy bone ore that we had gotten, but as you can tell, it's getting kind of banged up. There's been a few times where, you know, I've been fighting a little bit down in the tunnels there. I've been ambushed by some of the chiramaws. Some of the anglerfish have decided to nibble on my tootsies every now and again. So yeah, as much as it was nice to have the bone armor, it is definitely time to go ahead and upgrade to the next tier, which is ceramite. Still going to keep the bone armor just in case I need to, you know, swap it around for something else for a bit. But for right now, it's going to go into my overstock and retired equipment. I'm also just going to be using the weedwood bow for a bit. I've cleaned off my tools off camera, so that is all good. Lots of dragonflies out there at the moment. But the other reason that I wanted to go ahead and upgrade my armor is because, again, while just being down in the tunnels, not exploring any further past what we have already lit up previously, I was able to get some more of the pheromone thoraxes. These thoraxes, as we saw, we infest the weedwood bushes to get the moths, put them inside the moth houses, and that creates our silk. Let's actually go ahead and make a few more of these moth houses just because I like them. So it takes thatch, reed rope, weedwood chest, planks, and sticks. I'd like to have one just in each of the corners for right now, just because I can. Because if I end up getting a bunch of moth larvae, I can just stick them all around, and they'll all be in range of these paper lanterns. So let's go ahead and do that. We're gonna need some more, let's see, some more reed rope. We're gonna need some more thatch. And we're gonna need some more plank slabs. Let's go ahead, we'll make 3 chests. Boop, boop, boop. And we'll make some more plank slabs, like so. I did need sticks. Let's grab some sticks. And nope, not the reed mat. I want thatch. There we go. All right, moth house, 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. So we'll have one here, and one here, just because I like the way they look. Okay, let us go out and infest some more of these weedwood bushes to get our moths, and then from there we'll get some more silk. This will probably be the last time that I infest these on camera. Just because I know it takes a little while for them to fully, infest long enough to get the silk or to get the moths out of them. So as time goes on, I will be able to just do this off camera, so you won't be watching it for a while, and B, once I get access to the grub hub, which is much farther down the road. Once I get access to the grub hub, I will just have that automate the process. Hello, crab. I see you trying to be a sneaky. Oh, that's actually a good point. Something else I can do today is I can make the crab pot and see how that works. So we do have the weedwood bushes right now. We're waiting to the point where I can get I think they're called the moth infused. We'll give it a moment here. I do like the little moth particles that kind of sprinkle around here. Ah, there's a fish there. Okay. There we go. That's the point that I need the silk grubs. Just a moment. Hopefully these will finish up shortly and we can continue on. Actually, let's see. I got 2 more thoraxes. Why not? Just use up all these thoraxes while I'm here. Again, I haven't really been exploring in the caves pretty much any farther past where I had lit up previously, because there is some stuff that I do want to do while digging. But if I'm going to be in any sort of like very dangerous combat, I want you all to be able to see that. But if I'm just, here's like 7 vein. Oh, I got a bug on my screen. So apparently if you walk into here, you do get infested. Okay, good to know. That is not a good thing, but it is good to know that if you walk into there, you will get infested. Okay. Let's not do that again. There we go. These ones are taking a while, unfortunately. But that's okay. Gotta learn somehow. Oh, there's a fish over there. And there's a lurker. I am hoping that this armor... Nope, hasn't quite reached the point that I need it to be. I am hoping that the Searmite armor is going to be strong enough to allow me to attack the lurkers directly. They do a fair amount of damage. And while I have been getting... There we go. While I have been getting some of the lurker hide from just using the water filter, I need to get some more faster. And that's mostly going to be just attacking the lurkers directly. So with some luck, with my bow, and hopefully, my Octine swords, I'll be able to withstand their attacks long enough to kill them before they kill me. Hello, White. You're going to come over here and have at me, aren't you? Yes, of course you are. Well, while we're waiting for those bushes to populate with moths, let's go ahead and kill the White. Go. No white heart. That's fine. Just waiting on these 2 bushes to finish. We'll be able to put the silk grubs into the moth houses and then continue on. Here we go. Got it. That's 10 so far. Very nice. Head and grab those bushes. We'll just wait for this last one to finish. It's too bad that the if you kind of like with the leaf blocks in stone block, if you infest one, it doesn't spread to the others, unfortunately. You have to infest each one individually, but that's okay, because that would be pretty easy to just set up like a big group of the weedwood bushes, infest one, and then let them all get to work. So boop, 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 and then boop. Cool. All right, those will all be making silk for us. Very nice. We've got some mob drops, we've got some food. While that is going and those are creating silk, let's go out and get some of the ingredients that we can use to make those teas. The main ones that I'm going to be using are like the nettle tea. There. There's one that you can make with mushrooms. There's one that you can make with snail stuff. So let's go out. I can see some nettles off in the distance, so we'll grab some of that. Go. Let's see. We'll swap to our smoked snail flesh at the moment. I've just been collecting some nettles every now and again as I've been just out and about here as well, but considering there's some there, we'll go ahead and grab it. And then we'll head over into those areas and see about grabbing some mushrooms. The brews, again, are unfortunately something that I was never able... Hi there, Sherma. Thank you. The brews were not something that were parts of the Betweenlands back during SevTech, so I'm looking forward to being able to play around with them. Oh, and now it is super dark out. Oh well. There we go. Nice amount of nettles. I think what I might also do is, since we now have enough rubber to make the rubber boots, I'm going to take the rubber boots and head over to... Hi there, White. I'm going to take the rubber boots and I'm going to head over to the slime biome that's nearby that we saw previously, and go ahead and start collecting some of the... You're chasing me, aren't you? You are chasing me. Okay, we'll go kill you real quick first. Collect some of the slime stuff over there. Explore that biome. There we go. Nothing here. Move along. Oh. There's a bubble crab around here. Okay. That's fine, Bubble Crab. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm not interested in fighting you. Let's see. There's another Bubble Crab there. That's all right. So, a good portion of these teas that we're going to be able to make and brews are going to be using these mushrooms. Hi. Are you going to attack me? You're going to make me fight you? Okay. I guess you are, but that's fine. But they're going to involve using these mushrooms. Now, as we saw previously, the mushrooms can be eaten raw. They're really not great, and they have, you know, some nausea or hunger effects to them. But if you use them for making the brew, you actually get a fair amount out of it. Go. Hi. Oh, another bubble crab. You know, Bubble Crab, if you just leave me alone, I will leave you alone, because I'm not interested in fighting you right now. But, like, if you make me fight you, I will have extra crab legs. Hi. There. The crab don't realize that if it leaves me alone, I leave it alone. Grab a few more of these mushrooms. How many we got? 7 and 9. Not bad. There are, like I said, plenty of brews that you can make. Guessing it's a creature. It's probably another crab. There are plenty of brews that you can make. We're just going to make a couple of them today. I do want to go ahead and get rid of some more decay here. There we go. Back to the Anodita meat. Or, yeah, the Anodita meat. Oh, hi. What? Oh. Oh, look. It's nettles. Like, what's hurting me? Ah, it's just nettles. But yeah, the kind of sludgy area is going to have a ton of the mud around it. So I want to make sure I have the rubber boots to be able to get through much easier. Ah, some area here with some... Yeah, we'll hop down real quick and we'll grab this little sulfur ore. It's kind of like finding a seam of surface coal in the overworld. Yeah, I'll take that. The main unfortunateness, and again, not having been able to play around with it, I'm only saying it's unfortunate for now, is the fact that the silk bundles that you use to make the brews need to be cleaned every time you make some tea or a stew or whatever, what have you. Which of course then uses the purifier, as we've seen. The same process as purifying our tools, but that does mean that you're going to be going through your sulfur much faster if you're relying on that as a food source. So it's nice to have another form of food. Hi. There we go. It's nice. Ow, ow, ow. There we go. It's nice to be able to have another form of food, but at the same time, it's going to be using up your sulfur a lot faster. So one must bear that in mind when making the brews. Okay. That's a fair amount of mushrooms. Let's go head back, check on our silkworms, see if we have more silk, which I'm pretty sure we do at this point. And we shall make ourselves our first brew. Play around with that, then continue on. And of course, as it tends to be here in the Betweenlands, it is super dark out. Okay. A little bit of XP from that shallow breath. What? Just residual shallow breath noises. Making sure nothing was spawning behind me. There's still the obvious chance of fighting a bog monster out here, and I would rather not if I could. So let's not and say we didn't. Hello, anglerfish. You have been the reason for much damage. There we go, to my bone armor. Just trying to, move around and having the anglerfish coming up and smacking me. All right, heal our decay. Thank you. Back to the smoked snail flesh, and... oh, nice. Got a bunch of silk from those. Very nice. That's going to be super helpful. Okay. Let's put away the mob drops real quick. We've got ourselves our food. There we go. Is that... we have ores and organics. Okay. So, silk thread, as we saw, we can use it to make these silk bundles. They are reusable, but they have to be washed each time. How many do we want to make? Do we want to make... let's make 2 for right now, just so we can play around with it. So we've got silk bundles. They do not stack, unfortunately, but that's okay. Put away the rest of our silk thread for right now. So, if we take the bundle, we see that it has 4 inventory slots. We use that, put the ingredients into it, and then put that into the steeping pot. Right here, the steeping pot. So, for example, we can make fish oil. We can make a bunch of different colored dyes for the bags. There's the fish oil right there. Clean water and anadita remains. But here's one. Nettle soup that we'll be able to make. So clean water, flathead mushroom, black hat mushroom, and a nettle makes nettle soup. And you can make nettle soup with either the flowered nettles or the regular ones. So you have nettle soup, and you also have nettle tea. The nettle leaf is what you get from harvesting the nettles with the Searmite sickle or scythe. We can also make swamp broth with a ball of sap, raw snail flesh, and flathead mushroom. We can make sturdy stock, make lake broth, shell shock. We can make frog's leg for frog leg extract. Interesting. Okay, so let's start with the nettle soup. So I am going to have to take down... let's see, I'm going to have to take down the smoking rack for the moment. There we go. Because we're going to need to put the... we're going to need to put the pot here. Okay, there's the last bit of silk there. It was a very nice amount of silk. I definitely appreciate that. Easiest way to do this, we'll take the steeping pot, place it here. We're going to have our water filter right above it. And we'll take our moss mesh strainer. We shall take... let's see. We're going to take a nettle. We're going to take a mushroom. And a mushroom. Boop. Bump. And we'll make ourselves some brew. I do need a bucket. There we go. Put that there. So we're going to take the swamp water, filter it to clean water, and then make a brew out of this. Swamp water. I think we gotta stir the steeping pot. Yep, it's filling up. Perfect. Use that in there. Let's take off my shield. Nope. That's still in there. Okay. So it's brewing away. At least I'm thinking it's brewing away. Say the peat is lit. There we go. You see it's darkening. Nice. And... ta-da! Okay. So now what we can do is we can make some weedwood bowls. Hey, there we go. Dirty silk bundle. So now we take some weedwood bowls and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, good, that stacks. So we now have nettle soup. It barely restores anything. I mean, can I drink it while? Yep, I can drink it while I'm full on saturation. And now I have to clean the dirty silk bundle, which of course, sulfur, and this will clean it up. As far as like constant food is concerned, it's useful for a given definition of useful, but the fact that you have to clean these silk bundles every time, I don't know exactly how useful like the nettle soup is. It's good. It converts, you know, stuff that you really don't normally use for food into an edible, you know, into a food. But I'm sure some of the other foods will be better. This one is just a very basic, you know, here's something that you can eat. And also it doesn't have the effects of the food sickness to it. So there's that. You can use this as a, hey, I'm just going to be at home base. I brewed up a ton of this because I have an absolute ton of sulfur, and I'm just going to cycle through this every now and again. So, meh. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. Okay. I think that I would like to, as I said, take some of these rubber balls, and we're going to make some rubber boots, and we are going to head off to the slimy biome, which is, let's see, switch it to day here so I can actually see. The slimy biome is right here. There is a dungeon here. I am not going for the dungeon, but I will be able to kind of go around the edges here and be able to get some materials from that. So let's do so. That is going to be heading south. Cool. Oh, there's a little dude playing. You can just barely hear him. Turn up the volume real quick. Neat. I'm going to go around him because I don't want to disturb him, make him disappear. But with our rubber boots, let's head on over and see if we can get some materials from over there. Okay. Bye, little guy. Thank you for serenading me in my house. I appreciate that. Moving on south. Let's head to the slime area and see what we can get. Do you want to take a look at this as we're passing by? More nettles. Good, good. And yes, that is definitely a spawner. It's a little hard to see, but that kind of crystal that's just above the crosshair, that is a spawner crystal. So that will spawn different creatures over time. Or I shouldn't say different creatures, sorry. It'll spawn a certain type of creature over time. Now there is usually a chest with the spawner, so it is, you know, it is good to go and try and attack the spawner, see what you can get from it, from the chest. But I'm not too worried about that at the moment. Yes, let's head to the south. Head to the slimy biome and see what we can discover. More nettles there. Let's go ahead and get our first piece of middle gem. Very nice. I don't really plan on using much of the middle gems until I have the kind of later game stuff, just because the middle gems, they're not that hard to find. But if I'm mostly just, you know, making tools that I plan on combining together to restore their health versus using some of the other mechanics to repair things, I don't really want to be like wasting the middle gems on that. Okay, so with the rubber boots on, I will be able to walk on the mud without getting stuck in it, and I'll be able to fight these sludges. Nice. You did not split. Okay, interesting. We have a leech. Yeah, you see how I'm actually like running on top of the mud? That is very helpful. Let's go ahead and have another sap jello. Switch over to our Anadia meat, and we'll see what we can find here. It's regular swamp dirt. Now, I will sink into the, like, the kind of, like, muddy goop, and I'll show you what I mean when I find some. There we go. Grab that and move on. What do we got? Yeah, sludge balls. Oh no, that is okay. All right, good to know. That is a giant tar pit. That kind of blackish, brackish water right there. That is a giant tar pit. Tar pits can spawn tar pit monsters or tar monsters. Those are incredibly deadly. I do not want to interact with those. I am very much not ready to interact with those. Not by a long shot. But yes, right here, this sludgy dirt, even though I'm wearing the rubber boots, I will still sink into it. All right. Now, this may sound icky, but you see this sludge that's right here? That the sludge that I was fighting was spreading? You can scoop it up with a shovel, and that becomes the sludge balls. So yeah, it's actually beneficial to fight the sludges on land, so that they'll leave that trail of sludge, and then you scoop up the sludge. Yeah, the sludgy dirt, yeah, I get super stuck into it. And you move incredibly slowly. So you do have to be careful about that. So yeah, we've got some big rotten trees here. We have another tar pit. I need to run away, because I am very much not equipped to fight a tar beast. I am going to have to fight a tar beast, at least a few tar beasts, at a certain point, because mud brick flower pot. Neat. Oh, I will definitely take that. Thank you. I am going to need to fight the tar beasts at some point because I will need to get the tar drips that can drop from them for making the different barrels. The barrels are not, you know, super necessary, but beyond the fact that I want to make some of everything, they will be useful for gathering up clean water. So as it currently stands, that's tar pit running away. Anytime that I need clean water, I have to filter the clean water directly over the steeping pots. That is another tar pit. My goodness, at the number of tar pits here. Then again, this is, you know, the slimy, sludgy area, so unsurprising that there's going to be a bunch of tar pits around. But back to what I was saying. I will need to, as it currently stands, whenever I need clean water, I have to filter it directly over the steeping pots to collect the clean water. With the barrel, I'll be able to just put the water filter directly over the barrel and have it filter into that. Thank you for the extra balls of sludge balls. I'll be able to filter it directly over that and then just retain it for when I need it later on. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab that. Hello, books. Termite! Got it. Oh, nice. We got another item scroll. Very cool. Go ahead and have some smoked meat. Swap back over to our smoked snail flesh for the moment. Considering I'm starting to get a fair amount of these sludge balls, I may go ahead and start using just some of the sludge balls themselves as food, just to have, you know, another form of food. Oh, okay. Good to know. Those things disappear after a little while. It, I guess, dries up. Hey, here we go. We've got aqua middle gem ore. Got it. And we also have green middle gem ore. Go. All right. Just keeping an eye out for what's around me. Thank you. So yeah, any of these ruins have a chance at Star Pit. Any of these ruins have a chance to have items inside, these urns of chance. Very nice. Got some amanita paper. I'll take a sludge jello. Okay. Ah, that is another giant tar pit. My goodness gracious. Okay, how are we looking on the map? We are right here. Okay. Getting to some less explored areas. Moving along. Hey, some more middle gem ore. Got it. Staying away from the tar pit. Now, I can get rid of the tar pit. It's not like it's, you know, a permanent feature. You can't get rid of it. I can get rid of it. There are some somewhat useful things that you can make out of the tar. You can make, like, tar bricks for decoration and such. I just don't really have a plan on using such things. Again, I'll make it for completion's sake. Go eat that. How are we looking here? What is down this way? I would like to continue exploring. There was an enemy. Oh, look, some pots. Nice. I am right here. Okay. It was showing an enemy there. I don't know where it went. We do have some pots here that we can take a look at. Got a big crag rock area here. Very nice. I will need to get some samples of this stuff for working with the aspect stuff. But for now, I'm just going to grab this middle gem and move on. Ah, there's a lurker there. Oh, we actually seem to be getting to some of the kind of open watery areas. Let me swap to my Seamrite boots since I'm not walking in the mud. Got some surface sulfur, always helpful to see. Nope, stay here. There we go. Lots of weedwood bushes, very cool. And a lot of the different colored flowers, which will be very helpful again once it's time to start getting samples of all that for doing the aspect stuff. Very neat. Just exploring around a little bit. Wow, at the number of anglerfish down there. Got a bunch of the Anadia fish. Who's following me? Ah, it's an anglerfish. Okay. Let's see what we see. Like I said, kind of the open water-ish area. Not super open water, comparatively speaking, but somewhat. The patchy islands that we tend to be in are like the most prevalent of the type of terrain here. Hi. Not fighting you lurkers just yet. So we are actually a fair distance away from center base here. Go ahead and have another sap jello just to up our decay. Alright. Let's head back to base, de-loot, and then maybe do a little bit of fishing. Maybe see about fighting some lurkers. I do most definitely need to get some more sap stuff. Go. Just shovel that real quick to get back onto land. Hi, frogs. Get some more frog legs. Thank you. Let's see what else we got. Nothing else here. Moving along. A little bit of a run, but nothing too bad. Lots of mud here, so gotta be careful. Don't want to get stuck in the mud. Ow. Hi, Chiramaw. Hello. Thank you. Here's a little slime. Hello, slime. Yes, it's a small sludge. Just a small one. Just a small sludge. Alrighty. Looks like that's another spawner over there. Ugh. Out of the water. Avoid those nettles. Don't want to get stuck. A bunch of pots there. Ooh, hello. I don't have anything I can do with it right now. But that is a giant weedwood tree. So we've been seeing some pretty large-ish weedwood trees so far. This is a giant weedwood tree. You can see there's a bunch of kind of rings of mushrooms around it. And there is an enemy right here. It's hard to see, but that is a pirate, I believe they are called. They are not super difficult to fight. The main thing, as we have a helicopter go over, the main thing you have to deal with the pirate, as the name probably implies, is that they will set you on fire. They have like a little fire. They're kind of like blazes. They will set you on fire as a ranged attack. So you do have to be careful, especially with fighting a bunch of them, that they don't just all start sending fireballs at you. There is an advancement to basically sneak up on a pirate and then get it to be hostile by attacking its tree. I'm not going to try for that just yet. It can be a very finicky advancement to go after. There we go. It's very finicky because it can take a long while for a pirate, once it becomes hostile, to stop being hostile to you, to like go back to a sleeping state. And then once it's in a sleeping state, it has to be close enough to the tree for you to then be able to like break a block on the tree and then have that aggro it. So yeah, it is unfortunately, like I said, it's a pretty finicky advancement to get. I will definitely have to try and get it. I'm just not too concerned about it at the moment. But yeah, the giant weedwood trees are nice because obviously a giant tree, plenty of wood for building with. But you can also have some food here real quick, and I most definitely need to get some sap into my system to cure my decay, because I am getting very low, but we're almost back to base here. There are some seeds that you can get from the giant weedwood tree that you can use to make pears, and you can use you can combine the pears with the sap jellos to make pear jellies. And if you remember back when we were playing Sevtech, the pear jellies were like one of, if not the best fruit items that you could eat. They had like the highest fruit percentage and gave the most onto your hunger bar from eating them. Okay, let's see. We got some crimson middle gem, green middle gem, and aqua middle gem. So those will sit right there for the moment. Let's go ahead and empty our inventory. We got our sludge jello, balls of sap. We got mob drops, just a little bit. Food. We've got ores. Where are we putting the item scrolls? Those are in equipment. Explorer's entry, Marsh Ruins. Oh, I've already read that one. So we'll put that away. We can put away our Mossy Crag Rock top. So we'll just go right there. Boop. Don't need any more of these bone wane finders. Okay, time to eat a bunch of balls of sap. Nom nom nom. Ah, much better. Okay. Put that away. Let's have our last piece of smoked Anadia meat. All right. Plenty of food still left. These sludge jellos. I mean, the sludge jellos are okay as far as food. They're 2 and 3.5. So they're like basically between the nibble sticks and the reed donuts. So it's like, yeah, I could use them for just another type of food. I'd kind of rather just keep them for making the sap jellos. The sap jellos are 2, 3.5. You can eat them when you're, you know, not hungry, and they restore to decay. But let's take a look around. We've got all the silk that we can have from that. We do have some lurker skin. Let us see. My sword is getting kind of corroded, so I don't want to really take the lurker on head on directly, but we might be able to make a lurker skin pouch with some of the lurker skin that we do have. Got that. There's a lurker. Let's grab a little bit of dirt and see if we can kill a lurker or two. Make a pouch. That'll give us some extra storage space as we move around. Dirt. Bo is doing all right. Try to find a good spot to attack this lurker from. Let's see. Climb up a bit. All right. Yes, there we go. Got it. Very good. Let's go get that lurker skin. Do not drop any. Oh, there you are. It was floating. That's fine. Got a bunch of anglerfish over there. Frogs. Just trying to see if I can find any more lurkers. There's a lick-a-tongue kind of guy. Hi, crab. Let's head over and shoot this guy. Got him. Didn't drop anything. That's fine. Who is behind us? Ah, it is another lurker. Ow. Yep, crab. Crab just barely managed to get up to me. Right, try that again. And of course now it's getting super dark. Should be just... Yes. Just barely able to hit the lurker. There we go. It's a little hard to see, but I was able to take aim on that lurker from there. All right. There's the XP. Got a couple arrows back. And there's the lurker hide. Very nice. We've got 5 pieces. It takes, what was it? 5 pieces to make the first one, and then it takes another 8 to increase its size. Go. Hello, frog. Thank you, frog. Appreciate your help. An anglerfish over there. I can see its glow. All right. Let's go see if we can make ourselves a lurker hide pouch. Since we're home, might as well have a couple sips of our nettle soup. There we go. And just use that up. Food, 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 food. And then we've got mob drops. Technically food. Okay. Grab our lurker skin. We've got 20 pieces right now. We will take our silk thread and our first lurker skin pouch. Here we go. So only has 9 inventory slots. Not great. We can also press G to open it up. But if we now take this and surround this by more lurker hide, we now have an 18. Boop. There we go. Now let's take a quick look at the controls, because there is a way to, like I said, equip this onto ourselves. Equipment menu is C. Okay. There we go. So we can equip the lurker skin pouch like so. So now if you take a look right next to my donut slot, we have the pouch equipped. And if we hit G, bam, we open the equipped one. And that'll be quite nice for just having extra inventory. Now, if we want to, we can always just hit C to unequip it, and it puts it back in our hand. All right, excellent. I don't have enough. I technically have enough lurker skin to make it larger. So yeah, the 27 and then 36 is the largest that you can make it. I'm not going to use that right now because I don't want to use up all of my lurker skin. I want to hang on to a little bit of it. But it is still nice to be able to have now that. What would I like to do next? Let's see. Are there any of the fish around? I don't see any fish at the moment, but there's another lurker over there. We can go hunt some lurker. We're doing pretty okay on arrows. So let's go and do some more hunting. Let me know what you all think about me hunting lurkers off camera. I think I'm at the point where I should be able to do so. Not exactly like, oh my god, crab rush, crab rush. I won't, it's not like perfectly safe or anything. There is still an element of danger to fighting the lurkers. But I think I should be okay to like attack them and just go ahead and start grinding up for getting enough materials for a full lurker hide pouch off camera. But let me know if you disagree, if you want me to save fighting it for only on camera, or what your thoughts would be on that. The Searmite armor is definitely helping. More crab! Crab! I know, it is very dark at the moment. As usual, making it difficult to see. And I do apologize. That is crab. Hello, crab. That is also crab. We'll swap over to that food. I did see a lurker over here. That's crab. Here's a lurker. Oh, hi. I mean, thank you for the extra slime ball. I appreciate. But unfortunately, I will have to turn you into a larger part of my current pouch. There we go. Nice. There we are. Wow, 3 skins off of that guy. Very nice. Quite a substantial lurker. And have a Satchelo. Back to it. Any more lurkers at the moment? Just keeping an eye out for the little red dots on the minimap here. There's one. Hi. Wait for you to finish swimming around. Hi, where are you swimming to? There we go. Oop. Missed. And... got it. Okay. Perfect. Grab that. Close the extra arrow. Blink. Let's see what else we got. So yeah, lurker hunting is, you know, it is still somewhat dangerous. But I do believe this combination shall be pretty okay for getting the job done. So long as I'm careful. I don't want to, like, get knocked down by a Chiramaw, take contact damage from the Chiramaw, take fall damage from falling down, and then get one shot by the lurker. That would be very, very bad. Oops, missed that arrow. There we go. Another one down. Very nice. Arrow back. There's a lurker there. I've got 10 skins. Let's see if we can attack this one safely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. He's been snacking on the fireflies that are around. Oh, I am out of arrows. How much health do you have? I can't tell. Got him. Oof. Okay. They do still do a fair amount of damage. So, main thing you have to be careful about with the lurkers is the fact that they don't take knockback. Now, once I can enchant knockback onto my sword, that may change. But just like in general, they don't get bounced around like regular creatures do. Also good to know, I'm out of arrows, so I'll probably have to swap back to my slingshot for a while if I do want to continue attacking them. Hello, red snail. Thank you. Okay. Let us go ahead, head back to the starter base. Complete our lurker hide pouch. And probably call it good for the day. Let's see. Oh, for a second I thought it was starting to rain. Alright, mob drops, mob drops. Plenty of food. Okay, so just making sure. Lurker skin pouch has nothing in it. We go ahead and surround it. We're going from the 18 to the 27. And it's suddenly daytime, of course, right before I'm getting ready to finish. We have our 27 inventory slots. And now we surround it one more time. And make it 36. Huzzah! There we go. 4 full rows of inventory. That cannot get any bigger, right? Yeah, 18, 27, 36. And then all the rest are just the different dye colors. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I don't know why you can, you know, enchant it, but sure. I guess because technically speaking, to confirm what size it does have a durability. It's not an actual durability meter. Like you don't have to worry about accidentally like breaking it, but it does have a durability to show what size it is. But all we have to do is put it here. That's now equipped. And then hit G, and now I can just shove extra stuff in here. That'll be awesome. That'll be so helpful for when I'm out and about. Okay, I need to, you know, I've got some extra materials. Just open up my lurker skin pouch and just dump it in there and move on. All right, but I do believe I'm going to go ahead and call it good for today. There is still a lot of stuff, obviously, that we have left to do. We have to dig down further to get some more materials. We've got plenty of bosses to fight, plenty of dungeons to explore once we start really actively going through those. But to review what we did today, we went out and about, got some more sludgy stuff, saw a bunch of tar pits, got enough lurker skins to make a full-size lurker skin pouch, got more silk, and we made our first brew here in the steeping pots. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you have a good day and good game.